this little deep dent. This thing is actually very deceitful. I mean, this is deep. And what makes it difficult is, well, the location and the type of the way the panel is. It's kind of flimsy there. So when you're pushing, the whole entire panel in that area comes out. So that's what made it challenging on this type of repair. So the first step is to get the fender liner out. And to do this, best thing to do is to push those pins right there all the way through, and they're going to fall out on the backside into the bottom of the fender, interior of the fender. So when you do that, you got to take the wheel off the car and then fold the fender liner out of the way, and then you're going to go in there in the bottom and get those little pins out. So very simple. Just make sure you know that's going to happen. I don't know of any other way. This is how I've always done these fender liners on these BMWs. Is just push that little pin all the way through on the other side, and then I'll get my clip tool like this, and I'll just pull out the remainder part of the clip. But as you can see right there, that dent is looks pretty deep, and trust me, it is very deep. And the great thing about this though, um, it's white, it's steel, it's not aluminum, it's not high strength steel, and it's relatively decent access once you get the fender liner out of the way and get the wheel off the car. The reason why I took the wheel off is because my rods kept hitting the tire, and they were hitting the tire before they would actually push the dent. So it was just in the way and a nuisance. So here's what I'm talking about with those clips. This is the clip, and that's the pin that goes into the clip. And that pin, once it goes into that clip, it spreads those four little prongs out like that, and keeps it in place into the fender. So before you insert it back into place, just put the pin on just like that. And then once you slide it into the fender liner and through the fender liner into the fender, then you're gonna push that pin back into place. So this is what it looks like once we got the wheel off the vehicle. Yeah, it's a beautiful car. I mean, this car is in great shape. It's a super clean vehicle. The guy who owns it is a detailer, a local detailer, and I noticed right away. I was like, "Damn, this car is super clean." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a detailer." It's actually pretty dirty. I was like, "It was the cleanest car I've probably ever worked on in a very long time." But so this is what it looks like once I was able to get the majority of the dent out, and then I tapped it back down, and I kind of went back and forth, with, tapping and pushing like you normally have to do. But one thing I noticed is when I was tapping it back in, it would kind of pop back in, almost like an oil can effect. And I noticed right away, I was like, damn, this may not come out. I don't know what we're gonna do. And it was kind of tricky because of just the flopping in the oil can. But what I found was there was additional damage about maybe 6 or 12 inches away from the dent, and that was holding a lot of pressure, and that's why it was flopping back and forth. So I was able to tap down some of that crown on the upper part of the fender, and it took the tension from the crown on the upper part of the fender and pushed it down towards the dent and the dented area and stabilized the fender. And once it was able to stabilize it, it kept it from flopping in and out so much. So after I tapped it down, this is kind of what it looked like. This is before I found that the hidden damage that was above um, the actual dent. And that's one thing you got to make sure you do is not only look at the dent, but look on the entire panel because you may find crowns or buckles or something on the other side of the fender, and you just like, and that can be holding the pressure or tension or keeping the dent from coming out like it needs to do. So always look on the entire panel because you never know, you might find something there. I've seen it. I've had it happen several times, and make sure you use your light or reflection because you're going to notice it a lot much easier. See, you can see right there, I'm pushing it. It's kind of not really doing its job. So I open the door, and on the inside of that fender right here on this edge, I could see a couple little buckles. On the driver's side fender, it was perfectly smooth. On passenger side where the damage was at, it was actually a couple little buckles right there where I was feeling it with my hand. I was thinking to myself, fuck, who would have ever thought to look on the inside of the fender. Not me, but I'm glad I did. And once I found it, I used the this tip right here to push it back in and pretty much stabilize that entire area. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And once you find it and you correct that, it stabilized. It literally stabilized that entire dented area on the lower section of the fender. It's just incredible. Look at that. And already I just barely pushed a little bit of it, and it's so much more stable. It's not flipping in and out. Unbelievable. Just the simplest things that you're going to find. This is going to correct an issue, and there it is. So once I cleaned it up, once I found the stabilization error and repaired it, I was able to get the dent out easy, no problem. After about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so, I would say, on this repair, and man, it turned out really well. I'm super happy with it. Customer was ecstatic. His parents both were ecstatic. They were like, "I can't believe you fixed it. I don't even know. I didn't think it was going to come out." Well, I mean, we do this every day, obviously, so we know we can make things happen. But that's just the great thing about this industry. You never know what kind of dents you're going to find and what kind of hidden damage you're going to find. But if you can't figure out why the panels or the damage area is not coming out, look for the back side of panels all around it, and you may find something there that will correct that issue. So yeah, it's very cool. How's everything been going out there for you guys in the PDR world this 2021? For me, it's been not great, not slow. It's been Some weeks I'm super busy. The next week I work 2 days, and the next week I'll work 6 jobs. And all I'm doing is retail customers mostly. And yeah, so how? Let me know how business has been for you guys and how this channel has influenced you or helped you in any way, or if you learned anything, or if you haven't learned anything and everything's been redundant and you heard it all before. I'd like to know those things. Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, you have a great day.